Hello, you beautiful creatures. My name is Phoenix Sonin, and first things first, a special announcement at the end of the episode. Till then, roll the intro.
If you're leaving, baby, let me down slowly. Let me down.
Alright, so last we left off, Naruto just got done taking care of Shukaku and finished sealing Shukaku away inside of Gaara with a proper seal instead of the horrible one that he had originally. Now Naruto is on his way to go help with the fight with the rest of the Shadow Anbu and Orochimaru against Orochimaru protecting Sarutobi. Even though Sarutobi doesn't need protecting, Naruto just decides that he wants it to be protected. And that he's loyal to the village, so he'd rather not Hiruzen have this fight, even if it's his own student. Sorry if you hear kids outside. There's a birthday party going outside my apartment right now for no reason. Well, I guess there is a reason. It's a birthday, but whatever. So Naruto reaches this fight, and he sees he sees the barrier set up by the Sound 4, and he says, none of that, as he swiftly takes out the Sound 4, cutting all their heads off with his katana. Because Hiruzen said, kill anyone who is against the village during this invasion. He said, kill anyone that is going against us. And Naruto said, I bet. And then so he just started killing the Sound 4. Once Naruto easily dispatches of the Sound 4, without even having to activate his Sage Mode. Oh, by the way, the thumbnail is obviously a picture of what Naruto looked like in his Sage Mode. As you can see, his hair turns completely red. He has the markings around his eyes. And he has the God's Eye activated in this stage. That's it. Now, Naruto activates the God's Eye, and once he gets done dispatching the Sound 4, I said that 9 times already. Once he gets done, he goes and joins the fight. So right now, Kakashi, Kurenai, Asuma, Guy, and Fu are currently standing their own, but not winning at the same time. They're dealing with him, but they're also losing this fight. It's a tie, pretty much, not losing. And so Naruto joins the fight, and the tides change so dramatically. As Naruto sees this, it's Orochimaru. He knows Orochimaru because he has been because the God's Eye, when he activated it for the very first time, he got all this knowledge. So obviously he knows everything about this world. He knows who the legendary Sannin are. And since he's already met Jiraiya, he knows about Orochimaru, he knows about Tsunade, he knows about everyone. And so Naruto, seeing that is Orochimaru, the Snake Sannin, he would activate his Sage Mode and God's Eye second stage at the same time, making his power boost exponentially better. Exponentially, that's not a word. Exceptionally better power. Meaning right now, with the Sage Mode and God's Eye activated, he could easily wipe the 3 Sannin together 3v1. So he easily joins the fight, and Orochimaru sees that Naruto And obviously, he don't know who Naruto is. He thinks it's some random brat coming to join the party. So, the fight goes as is. Naruto tells the rest of the Shadow Anbu, back up. I got this. To protect Lord Third. They all respond, yes, Captain, and jump back, making a circle around the Hokage just in case anyone else was hiding and coming to try to attack him. Now, he would... Sorry for that noise. I was messing with something. Orochimaru would use the snake hands. I forgot what it's called. I forgot what a lot of jutsus are called. I think it's hidden snake arms, where he just bursts a bunch of snakes out of his sleeve. I believe that was it. He does that to Naruto, and Naruto easily focuses lightning, fire, and water chakra into his blade, and the lightning chakra speeds up his swings. The fire makes the blade hot, and the water makes the water chakra and the blade makes it easier to move around. So it cuts the wind pretty much without him having to put in wind chakra. So he makes him move his. So Naruto is easily, fastly cutting off the heads and cutting in half all of the snakes that are coming at him. And keep in mind, his reaction speed is obviously immense because of Sage Mode plus his dojutsu. And so Naruto then rushes in once all the snakes are done. He rushes into close combat with Orochimaru, creating one of the most intense taijutsu fights in the era of Naruto, in the world of Naruto. One of the most intense fights you'll ever see. Until later on. Spoiler. Naruto would kick Orochimaru into... just not kick. He would just kick him down. And Orochimaru would then backflip, get some space, do the hand signs for Edo Tensei. He would then resurrect the first Hokage, the second Hokage, the fourth Hokage, Kushina, Mito, and Madara. Now, don't ask how he has Madara's or Kushina's or anyone else's DNA, because just say that he found it in a research place. So he has all their DNA, and he has resurrected the first, second, fourth Hokages, along with Kushina, Mito, and Madara. Naruto would see this and kind of worry, even though he wouldn't worry for himself. He would worry from the backlash of the fight that is about to go down, that it would probably destroy the village with all of them, all the most powerful ninja that the world has seen, plus the most powerful ninja the world will ever see, Naruto. So Naruto says, it's fine, and he sucks them away into his Kamui. Now Naruto he morphs the God's Eye into a Mangekyo Sharingan, and uses the Kamui ability to suck them all into his personal dimension. Now, Naruto's dimension is kind of like his mindscape. It is a vast, empty, cold, and place where it's horrifyingly weird, with giant orbs the size of the moon just in the sky, meteor-sized boulders just laying on the ground, massive hills and everything. So it's pretty much, Naruto's dimension is creepy upon itself. Kushina wouldn't say, "Boy, you look familiar. Have I seen you before? Have I met you before?" before I died? No, you're too young. Naruto would then smile and say, it's me, Mom. I'm Naruto Uzumaki. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to send your soul away. So I'm sorry for this brief encounter. You too, Father. Kushina would then tear up and try to hug Naruto, but Orochimaru would stop this with his orders. He would order her to stop and not move. And Naruto would get mad with the pervert trying to command his mother around. This is when This is when This is when Orochimaru would say attack. Hashirama would slam his hands on the ground, even though there are trees. I forget to mention there are trees around, so Hashirama can use his wood style, his Mugaton. Hashirama would slam his hands down, and a bunch of wooden pillars would go flowing towards Naruto at very high speeds. Madara would activate his Sharingan and do the hand signs for Fire Blaze Annihilation. I believe that's the name of it, where he just makes a giant wave of fire from his mouth, pretty much. Minato would throw multiple three-pronged kunai, and Mito would start to pull a giant seal from seal from her back. Kushina would grab her katana, and Tobirama would start to bring the water from the atmosphere and do do 5 different water dragons at once, and I'll shoot them towards Naruto. With Naruto standing there, his eyes analyze the situation. He realizes he can still win, but it'll be, for the first time in a very long time, he'll actually have to try hard. So Naruto's about to become a sweaty boy. Naruto vanishes from everyone's view, even Minato's, as he grabs one of Minato's kunai out of the air. Minato doesn't hesitate to teleport to one next to it and try to slam a Rasengan into his own son's back. But Naruto says, none of that, and teleports pretty much behind Minato and just lands a giant, a super strength punch with earth chakra flowing through his body, through his arm, and just slams into Minato's back. So hard that even the Edo Tensei cannot regenerate from that, and Minato disperses, sending his soul back into the Shinigami, since he was not in the heavenly realm in the first place, since the Shinigami had taken him. Naruto then look towards Hashirama's giant wood pillars heading towards him at very high speeds, grab his grab his katana and enlace it with fire, earth, and lightning chakra to make it the swing of the blade just that much stronger, and just cut down the wood as it comes towards him. He would then do the Kagebushi no Jutsu, shadow clones. He would then make 5 shadow clones, and they would all go and take their own person, as they all have Sage Mode and the God's Eye activated. That's a clean wipe. Naruto himself dashes towards Hashirama by running on another pillar that Hashirama is sending towards him. He just jumps on the pillar and starts running on it towards him. Hashirama would then activate his own Sage Mode from fear, and say Senjutsu versus Senjutsu. How hard would that be? How grave a battle would this be? We cut to one of Naruto's clones against Madara. So Naruto's clone phases through the giant wave of fire, and Madara says, "Well, let's have a beautiful dance, shall we?" As they both charge at each other. Naruto's clone, shall I say, goes to Madara. He vanishes from the speed of Madara, even with Madara's Sharingan. He cannot track Naruto's speed. Even with it, he is just a blur. But he can barely see where he is. And that's not even enough not even for Madara. Naruto would appear behind him and would shove a maybe Raikiri? I forgot it. What is the Kakashi's extra one step up from a Chidori that's just a blade of lightning? I think it's Raikiri. He shoves a Raikiri through Hashirama's chest. Not Hashirama, Madara's chest. And it's so powerful that it dispels Madara. We cut to another clone with Kushina as she is just crying while having an amazing sword katana kenjutsu match with her son's clone. She is crying while doing this, saying, "I'm sorry, I loved you. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you. I hope you had a wonderful childhood. Please forgive us. We had to do it." Naruto's clone would then tear up and say, "I know you had to do it, and thank you for everything. Even though you weren't there, I knew y'all, and I'm happy that I got to know y'all." Naruto's clone would then pierce his original's mother, in the leg, and then cut her in half. When he does this, he uses a seal that is on the handle of his blade, and it courses the blade in kanji, sealing away the soul, sending her back to the heavenly realm along with Madara, who was also sent when the original, not the original Naruto. The two clones that took off, Kushina and Madara, would dispense, giving Naruto a little bit of his extra strength back. Because whenever a shadow clone poofs into existence, it takes a tiny bit of his power. But then again, a tiny bit of his power is enough to take a country, so it's fine. The original Naruto, would be having an intense taijutsu match. The one even greater than the one with Orochimaru. That's the spoiler. Kinda. Not really. That I gave earlier. The taijutsu match between him and Hashirama. Naruto would start dancing, kind of, because he knows that this is an easy match. He, jumps up and down, and then once he gets room behind him, he blitzes Hashirama as he appears behind him with a giant, patch of gray in his hand. If Hashirama was alive, Naruto would have his heart in his hand, but since he's not, he doesn't have organs. So it's just a patch of gray as it disappears. Hashirama disappears as well. And all is left is Mito, and Naruto just Naruto jumps back and says, "Clone, hold her off for a minute. I'm finishing this in style." The clone would nod and start defending against Mito, as the original Naruto would start channeling lightning chakra into his own dimension and his area around him. 2 minutes later, the original Naruto would burst in lightning chakra surrounding him and send a small blue ball into the air and then slam his hand down, pointing at Mito. A giant dragon made of lightning would come down from the heavens and strike down Mito, vanishing her to the heavenly realm as well. All that's left is Orochimaru, and where Orochimaru is just sitting there, wetting his pants. He just watched a 15-year-old take out 5 of the greatest shinobi that ever lived. Wait, 5. Oh, 1, 2, 3. 6 of the greatest shinobi that ever lived. I need to go back to school. 6 of the greatest shinobi that ever lived. And with complete ease. And not even getting a scratch on him. Not even panting. Not even... It seems tired at all. Like, it was this morning stroll. Orochimaru would then get on his knees and beg Naruto not to kill him. Which Naruto said, I don't care if you beg me. You're going down. You tried to attack your own village that you were born and raised in. Now you shall pay treason, which is punishable by death. Naruto would activate the God's Eye and turning back to its original and pulse chakra into his pour tons of chakra into his eyes, forcing the God's Eye to morph and having it expand throughout his entire pupil, his entire eyeball, and have it turn purple with black rings surrounding it. Yes, I just gave him the Rinnegan. What you gonna do about it? Naruto obviously already knows all the abilities of the Rinnegan and knows everything. So he just points his palm of his hand, to the top of Orochimaru's head. He grabs Orochimaru by his head and releases a chakra rod going through his entire body, instantly killing him. And he can't even make another clone because the chakra rods sap all the chakra out, meaning he cannot have enough chakra to regurgitate his own self. Killing Orochimaru. Naruto then dispense the clone, disable the Rinnegan so he doesn't freak anyone out when he goes out, leaves his own dimension, swirls back into reality, and says, it's been taken care of, they're all dead. Well, deader again, but Orochimaru's dead. For good. They would all sigh and have their sweat drop as they realized they all knew how powerful he was, but they didn't think he was strong enough to permanently kill Orochimaru, the man who has been legend to be immortal. A couple days go by, and Naruto's just chilling in his apartment, not having anything else to do, until he hears a knock on his door. He gets up and it says, "Ugh, who is it this time?" He opens the door and sees Sarutobi asking him, "Please come to my office around 2 today and be prepared to leave. Pack for a couple weeks, maybe a month or 2. Naruto would look at him awkwardly and say, "Yes, sir," and then close the door and go to pack since it was 1:30 p.m. I didn't need to say that. It was already 1:30, so Naruto had 30 minutes to pack for 2 months just to be on the safe side. He did so, and then he uses the Hiraishin to appear in the Hokage's office wearing his Shadow Anbu gear. Now, Naruto looks around and sees no one else from the Shadow Anbu. None else is his team. And all he sees is Jiraiya. Now, Jiraiya would freak out since he does not know about the Shadow Anbu either. He would then get ready to attack since some random person just in a cloak just appeared in front of the Hokage. Jiraiya would try to attack him until Naruto appeared behind him, kicked him in the back, and took off his hood and mask, saying, "Perfect Sage, it's me. Don't worry." Jiraiya would then stand up and apologize, saying, "Sorry, I didn't expect you to be wearing that." Naruto would take off the rest of his Anbu gear and seal it into a sealing matrix he has on his arm. Like a tattoo kind of, that's a permanent seal. He did this in the meantime of the break, the time skip, a couple days. He realized, and it's probably best way to do this, and so he made a tattoo matrix that's just permanent seal on his arm. Naruto would then say, "Old man, why do I need to pack for 2 months and where am I going?" Sarutobi would then say, "Sorry Naruto, I didn't tell you about this before, but I'm retiring. Since the invasion, I realized that there are some things even I can't do now. I can't even protect my own village. I need a 15-year-old with the power of God to step in and help me. So, you want me to become the new Hokage?" Naruto said, smiling and trying to get upbeat. Like, "Really, you want me to be the new Hokage?" No, Naruto. You're not the Hokage yet. You'll probably be the 6th Hokage. But for now, you're going to go find the 5th Hokage. Tsunade Senju. And I've already asked Jiraiya to do it, but he said he doesn't want to do it. So you're going to have to go find her. And that's where I'm leaving it. Next episode, they're going to go on the Tsunade retrieval arc and probably fight Itachi, Kisame, and bring back Tsunade. Pretty much the entire thing. Since Orochimaru is dead, he will not need to go see Tsunade to heal him. So, the important message I was talking about earlier. I'm thinking of doing reactions. I'm still going to be doing what ifs, so don't get your panties in a bunch. Just on the side, I'm going to be reading manhwa or in manga and reacting to them and reading with them. So give me suggestions down below. And number one thing, not solo leveling. Because if I need to read solo leveling, that means I would have to read it on Tabitoon, meaning I would then have to pay for it because I don't feel like paying for crap. I'm cheap. So that is the important announcement. Thanks always to Thank God, Blaze. Join our Discord, it's free. Subscribe, it's free. If you join Discord, we have fun over there. There is a event going on in 2 days inside the Discord, so be there for that. And that's it. Be good people.